Hello, lovelies! Now, if you have been watching the channel over the last few weeks, you know that we are in the midst of a meal prep extravaganza. So far, we have shared 25 delicious meal prep ideas, and today I've got 5 more inspired ideas for you guys to make sure you are lunching in style as you head back to work and back to school. Today, we are going to kick all this deliciousness off with what I'm calling my Korean lunch bowl, and it is going to start with some amazing Korean beef. In this case, instead of using traditional shaved beef, I'm actually going to be cheating with some ground beef to keep this a little bit easier. And you won't believe how quick it comes together. I've got some oil heating up in a skillet on the stove, and to that I am going to add my ground beef. I'm going to cook my ground beef, breaking it up with the side of my spoon until it is no longer pink, and then I will go ahead and add a whole lot of flavor to that. So I've got some soy sauce headed in here, as well as some chili garlic sauce, which can usually be found in the international aisle at your supermarket. And I'm also going to add a little bit of honey. I'll give this a quick stir, let it reduce for a few minutes, and then finish it off by stirring in some finely chopped green onions. As I'm sure you can imagine, this beef is the perfect combination of savory, spicy, and sweet, so much so that our team simply could not get enough of it, and it's not hard to understand why. Now, to balance all of that meaty goodness, I wanted to add some greens to this meal prep, so I went ahead and sauteed some kale in a little bit of sesame oil. Once my kale was nice and soft, I added a little bit of rice vinegar for some acidity and tartness, and it really is that simple. Now, to construct my meal prep box, I am starting with a layer of cooked white rice. You could also definitely do this with some brown rice if you wanted to. Then I'm going to pile in my amazing Korean beef, my sauteed kale, and finish it off with a good helping of kimchi. I am also adding a soft boiled egg, one of my very favorite things to lunch on. And finally, I'm going to garnish this with a little bit of green onion and some sesame seeds, and it is ready to be enjoyed. I like storing this in the refrigerator for up to 3 days, and then of course you can reheat it just before enjoying, or you can actually eat it totally cold. Both ways will work just fine. Guys, there is a lot of flavor happening in this dish. And if you don't believe me, you just have to try it for yourself. Next, lovelies, we have an amazing maple Dijon chicken breast that I'm putting on a really pretty salad with some pomegranate. So super delicious. It all starts with my maple Dijon marinade. Obviously, that is a combination of maple syrup with a little bit of Dijon mustard, some garlic powder, and a good helping of salt and pepper. Once that's all mixed together, I can go ahead and pour that marinade over my chicken breast and then get it into the refrigerator to hang out in that marinade for at least an hour. But of course, if you have a few hours, that is always better. Once the chicken has had a chance to soak up as much of that goodness as possible, we are going to get it on a parchment-lined baking sheet. Parchment paper, very important here, because of course things like maple syrup love to burn in the oven and nobody likes that. Then we'll get it into the oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit until our chicken reaches a safe internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit on a meat thermometer. We'll let our chicken cool completely before we cut it into slices, and then we will turn our attention to our dressing for our salad. This is just a matter of combining some olive oil, balsamic vinegar, a little bit of honey, some Dijon mustard, some salt and pepper, and that's it. All you need to do is give it a whisk and we can set it aside while we construct our salad. In this case, I'm using some finely chopped kale that I've just mixed with some cooked quinoa. Next, we'll add our crumbled goat cheese to this and finish it off with some pomegranate and some toasted pecans. Such a beautiful mix of flavors and perfectly complemented with our gorgeously cooked maple Dijon chicken. Then we will just pop in our dressing on the side, and there you have it. Lunch is served. This is ready for the fridge. Next, I'm making a meal prep that is basically like a deconstructed samosa. So it's got some beautiful Indian flavors that I absolutely love. And it all starts by roasting some potatoes. Now I have got some russet potatoes cut into 1/2-inch cubes. You want them nice and teeny tiny. They work best that way in this particular recipe. Then I'll toss my potatoes in a little bit of oil, some curry powder, some garam masala, and some salt and pepper. Once I've got them well coated in all that tastiness, we will get them into the oven at 400 degrees for between 25 and 30 minutes, or until they're nice and tender and golden on the outside. We want to let our potatoes cool completely before we get to work on assembling our curried chickpea salad. So I've got my potatoes in my bowl. To that, I'm going to add some canned chickpeas that I've rinsed and drained. Next, I am also going to add some peas to this. So as you can see, we've got a classic samosa filling coming together. Then for even more great flavor, I'm going to add some freshly chopped coriander, a little more curry powder, some olive oil, and some lemon juice. Once that's all together in my bowl, I'll give it a quick mix, and then we're ready to assemble our meal prep. As the base for this meal prep, I'm going to be using some baby spinach. You could definitely use some rice here instead if you wanted to make this a little bit more hearty and filling. Totally up to you. I'm going to pile on my curried chickpea salad, nestle in some mango chutney as my dressing for this salad, and then finally I'm going to serve it with a couple of these adorable mini naan that I found at my supermarket. You can use those to scoop up all this goodness until there's absolutely none left. Non-puns, non-stop. Next up on my meal prep menu this week, I am making some spicy sofritas served with a quick curtido, super refreshing and tasty. And this whole meal prep happens to be entirely vegan, so there's a lot to love about it. For my sofritas, I'm gonna get started with some oil heating up in a skillet on my stove. To that, I'm going to add some onion. I'll cook my onion until it's nice and soft and translucent. Then I'll go ahead and add my garlic to the pan and get that hot and bothered for another 30 seconds or so. Then it will be time to add my tofu. So I'm using some extra firm tofu that I have just crumbled into little bits. You'll see it kind of resembles the same texture as a ground beef or a ground chicken. That's what we're going for. It's a really good meat replacement in things like tacos and burritos, which is why I love it so much. Then for even more protein, I've got some canned black beans that I've rinsed and drained, headed into my skillet, as well as some salsa, a minced chipotle pepper, and a touch of agave syrup for sweetness. I'll give this all a good stir and let it get heated through. The best part about a dish like this is that it doesn't have to cook for very long at all. Only 2 or 3 minutes will do it. Then I will finish it off with the zest and juice of 1 lime, a little salt and pepper for seasoning, and in no time, it is ready to be served up. I like serving it with a quick curtido, which is basically just some veggies that have been quickly pickled. I'm starting with some finely shredded cabbage, as well as some carrot and some onion in my bowl. To that, I'm also going to add some minced jalapeno, which is optional, but makes this super good. Next, I've got some apple cider vinegar headed into my bowl to do my pickling. And then to offset that tartness just a bit, I'm also going to add some agave syrup, which is a bit sweet, so you have a nice balance of flavors. I'll round all of this out with a little salt and a little pepper, give it a good toss. And then I'll combine these two things over a bed of cooked white rice in my meal prep box. The best part about something that's lightly pickled like this curtido is the longer it sits in the fridge, the tastier it becomes. I love it because you've got that smoky, spicy sofritas, so perfectly complemented with the crunchy, tangy curtido. A match made in heaven, if I do say so myself. Finally, for something nice and rich and hearty, I have got my easy chicken parmesan that I like to serve with some cooked pasta and some steamed green beans. The first step in this easy chicken parm is just seasoning up your boneless, skinless chicken breast. I'm doing that simply with a little bit of Italian seasoning and some salt and pepper. I love keeping things like this that simple. Next, I'm going to get some oil heated up in a skillet, and then I'll get my chicken breast into the pan, top side down, and let it cook away until it is nice and beautifully golden on one side. Then I will flip it and get it golden on the second side. Once my chicken is nicely browned, I'm going to reduce my heat to medium and let it continue to cook with the lid on until it reaches an internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit. That is very, very important because even if your chicken looks cooked on the outside, it does not necessarily mean it is fully cooked through on the inside. Once our chicken is fully cooked through, we can finish it off with some tomato sauce on top, some mozzarella, and a good sprinkling of Parmesan cheese. Then I will get the lid back on my skillet until all of that heats up and gets ooey, gooey, and melty. That, of course, is always a really good sign. Now, As I said, I love to serve this dish over some pasta as well as some steamed green beans. So I just cooked up my pasta ahead of time in some boiling water and steamed my green beans really lightly in a steamer basket. Then it's just a matter of assembling all that magic in our meal prep. How easy was that? This meal prep will last in your refrigerator for up to 3 days. Of course, you'll want to reheat it in the microwave just before serving so everything is nice and ooey gooey and delicious. Guys, I hope you love all 5 of these awesome ideas as much as I do, and of course that you will give them a try for yourselves. If you do, be sure to tweet me, Instagram me, or Snapchat me a photo because I always love seeing your kitchen creations. Keep in mind that all 30 of these awesome ideas and the full recipes are available in a free downloadable PDF on thedomesticgeek.com. I will link it in the description box below so you can go download it and you'll have it forever and ever and ever to enjoy. And finally, guys, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe because there is lots more deliciousness where this came from. Really, lots more. Have I ever let you down?